What's up guys, we're back again today with another great video, and in today's video we're actually going to be working on this 2005 third gen 4Runner. And as you guys can see right here behind me, the headlights have gotten really bad and dingy. You know, a lot of your early 2000s cars, just like the TC that I work on all the time, my headlights got dingy. We actually have worked on these before and sanded them out, and it lasts a little while, but we decided to go ahead and get some new headlights and put on it because this is my mom's daily driver. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into the video. All right guys, so some of the tools that you might want to have for this project is a ratchet. Obviously I have an impact that we're going to take some screws out with. But you can definitely do it with a ratchet. This just makes it a little quicker. With a 10mm socket. This pry tool helps you out getting some of your clips off the hood that I'll show you right here in a minute, or off this plastic piece that sits over your radiator. If you don't have that, you can always use a screwdriver, just be careful. And then we'll need some needle nose pliers to get some of the clips that is basically right here underneath the bumper, and I'll show you guys how we get those out too. So we'll go ahead and we'll open up the hood right here in a second. And as you guys can see right here, a quick tip, you can actually mark the wall. Obviously you don't want to move the vehicle while you start this project or the marks will be off, but you can kind of mark it, and then that way you can adjust it back where it was at. My mom's is a little off, this one's a little lower, that one's a little higher. So we can actually do a little bit of adjustment from there, but at least we know where they used to be when we put the new ones in, because sometimes the new headlights will be adjusted and sometimes they won't. So it kind of just depends on who you get them from, or you know, maybe how they were shipped. That little screw could have came unscrewed a little bit and just moved it up or down a little bit. So that's just a quick thing that you can do to kind of make sure you're at least kind of back where you were. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take off this top panel right here, and this is where you're going to use this pry tool or a flathead screwdriver. You're just going to go underneath all of them, and you can kind of use these little entry pieces to pop them up, and they should just come out pretty easy. If you have to, like I said, just take a flathead screwdriver and kind of wedge them up a little bit to where you have room to get underneath them all.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Alright, so now we're able to take this panel off the top, and then as you can see right in here, it gives us access to the other 10mm bolts here and here. So now what we're going to work on next is this trim piece right here, which covers up one more 10mm bolt right in this corner that goes back. So we're going to start working on this piece now. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys underneath the clips that we've got to get. This is where you're going to need your needle nose pliers. So let's go underneath here. And as you guys can see, let me get my light. So as you guys can see up here is these clips that have, it's like metal on either side. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your needle nose pliers right here, pinch those down and push up. And there's one over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 it looks like. And if you have somebody to help you to watch, because what you're going to want to do is as you're pushing up, they're going to have to kind of keep pressure on this panel, because these clips are going to want to push back down through and re-clip themselves. So I've already kind of loosened up this side. We're going to go down this side and then we're going to pull it up, and I'll let you know if there's any other plastic pegs up in here up top once we get it off ourselves. Alright, so now that we've got all these first pegs pushed up, we were still having, we couldn't pull it off easy. It was still kind of stiff. So we look back down underneath here, and as you guys can see, there's these little skinny clips right here. And there's actually 6 of those, and they're just right diagonal of the other ones. So for these, you can take this yellow tool, if you've got one of these plastic trim tools, or if you've got a flathead screwdriver, and there's a little tooth that sticks out on this side.
and you can just take this tool and push in like this, and when you push in it'll release it, and then you can kind of just take your finger and push up. So you'll do that on all 6 of them, and then once you do that it'll free itself up and you'll be easily able to be taken off. And just don't forget these ones over here at the very far edge, because there is 6, and these are kind of hid on either side behind this rubber piece. Alright, so then after you get those 6 clips done, it should be easily pulled out. And now that I've got it out, I can kind of show you a little better. So right here, this is the clips that you're taking the needle nose and pinching down and pushing up on. And then here's the ones that you're going to take your plastic trim tool or a screwdriver. And you can kind of see the tooth is just real tiny right here. That's what you're trying to push in. So push that in and then just slide it up and it'll come out. And the way that we done it, it popped out really easy. So I would suggest doing these ones in the back first. And then when you do that, it actually kind of tilts this piece of trim up, and it makes it easier for you to just pop those teeth on the front ones. So there's that piece, and as you guys can see right here, it lets us get to this bolt and this bolt. So now we've got one more bolt to get to, and it's underneath on this side. It's right in here underneath your bumper, and then there's one on the other side. I'll show you how to get to those, and then we'll be able to take these out and put our new ones in. All right, so to get to the final bolt that kind of comes down in this area, you're going to pop this plastic clip off, just like how we did up there. Just slide it out like this, and that actually allows your fender to slide in this way. And then there's actually a 10mm bolt right here on the bottom, and another 10mm right here. Depending on how much room you need, you might be able to get away with just taking the one off on the bottom. I'll show you guys that one now. So it's right here, and that also holds this fender flare in. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, and then I'll kind of push that back and I'll show you where the bolt's at. All right, so we got our 10mm bolt out, and you can actually just take your hand underneath here and kind of push out. And as you can see, the fender kind of bends like this. And if you want it to lay even farther back, if you don't want to have to force your hand in here, you can take this 10mm out. I don't think we're going to do that because I should be able to get to it right here. Right up here is actually where the bolt's at, right there. So this bar comes down off the headlight. You should be able to see it easy because it gets gray on ours and goes right here. And that'll be your another 10mm bolt that you've got to take out. So we're gonna go ahead and take this 10mm out, and then we'll go back up top and take all those out. All right, so we got the bolt out that I just showed you guys underneath. Now we're gonna jump up top and take all these out real quick. All are 10mm. There's 1, 2, you got this one right here in the corner, 3, 4 going in from the front, and then of course the 5th one that's underneath. All right, so as you guys can see right here, you have a couple different bolts. Just make sure that you're using the small one back in this front piece to hold this trim back. All right, so now you're going to go ahead and do the same thing to your passenger side. You've got 1, 2, 3 going in this way right here, 4, and then the one underneath the fender, and you'll just take the fender flare off the same way on this side as well. All right, so on this side we're going to go ahead and we've got all the bolts taken out, and we were actually having a hard time getting the headlight to come out. What you'll do is just take a flathead screwdriver or your pry tool again and kind of go underneath here, because sometimes these plastic clips that the screws clip into will get stuck inside the headlight housing trim. And once we take this completely out, we'll just push this clip back out and snap it back in, because that's what the bolts go into. So now what you can do is you can grab it, slide it out, and then once you get it out a little bit right here, you can go ahead and undo all your bulbs. And you can do it one or two ways. You can just twist the bulbs out, or you can undo the clips. Let's see. All right. And that's that's all of them. Now it will make it easier, obviously, if you unclip your bulbs and go ahead and put them in your new housing. And then that way, once you put it in there, the only thing you gotta do is clip them back in. And again, you probably already know this, but don't touch the bulbs with your hands because the oil from your hands will make them bust. So there's what our old headlight looks like, all taken out. And you can kind of see this a little bit better now. This is that arm that goes underneath the bumper where the bolt goes in. All right, so we got our brand new headlight here, and we're gonna go ahead and slide it in. Make sure you tuck all your wires back right here, like how I did, so they're not in the way. Slide it in just like that. Now make sure it lines up with your clips up top. Like that. And like this. So now that's lined up. And this is just your piece of trim that goes in front that fell off. It just pops right back in the front. So now that we've got it in, we'll go ahead and bolt it down. All right, so now once you got both headlights in, I will suggest the little running lights that go up here, the orange ones. On those, you probably go ahead and unclip them from the wire and put them in the housing already, because they're kind of a pain to reach up underneath here and be able to quarter turn them. The headlights are really easy to put in though. So once you get both of those in, go ahead and put all your clips in here, and then this piece just snaps right in. Simple and easy. And now you've got new headlights. So that looks a lot better than this. And it doesn't take that long at all to switch them out, and now you'll be able to see driving down the road. Sorry guys, I forgot to close out the video yesterday, but anyway, I hope this video helped you guys out. It kind of sucks when you have those oxidized headlights in your car. I hate on the TC, sometimes they'll get bad and I'll have to kind of buff them out and stuff. In some instances, they get so bad that you can't sand them out. My mom's, we had actually tried to sand them out before, and it actually got them, you know, looking pretty decent for a little while. You guys can actually check that video out on the channel, because we did that on the channel as well. And they look good for a little while, but then the oxidation came right back. So it's kind of just a band-aid on the problem. So we went ahead and put brand new headlights in for now, and they look great. It changes the whole look of the car, as you guys seen in those side-by-sides. You know, any older car, if you just put some new headlights in it from those oxidized headlights, it's going to make it look a lot better. But anyway guys, if you like the video, please like the video. If you have any comments or anything like that that might help another viewer out, you know, fixing the problem, maybe an easier way to get to a bolt or something like that, or an easier way to get those clips out in the front, please leave a comment down below. And if you would, please subscribe to the channel. We're going to grow a community together and help each other, you know, get some projects done on, you know, the 4Runner, the TC. We also now have a new car that we're also going to be doing videos on. It's also a Toyota, and we have the Corolla that we've done a little bit of stuff on. So anyway guys, I appreciate you, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out, and remember, build your masterpiece.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll